the surgical suite, Toronto Wildlife Centre's veterinary team prepares to operate on a very small and very vulnerable patient.
There's his toe. God, it looks awful.
Baby rabbit came in after it had been attacked by a cat the night before. This rabbit had some punctures on his back, just behind his head, and he had a very severely broken toe. He was probably really sore and really stressed, and he'd had a really hard night. Given that rabbits live so close to where people live, it's really common for them to get attacked by people's cats and dogs. It's unfortunate, but it happens a lot. But it was hard to see the rabbit. He was really young and really stressed and in a lot of pain.
This rabbit was one of the many babies recently admitted, as they sadly end up in dangerous situations, especially at this time of year.
Baby rabbits are often admitted as orphans. Their nests are often quite shallow, so it's easy access for either other wildlife to get at them or unsupervised pets, whether it's off-leash dogs or outdoor cats have easy access to those nests. We also see landscaping and construction companies, if they're ever digging up grass or digging in any area, they can easily get those babies dug up. Or just occasionally something happens to mom, unfortunately, and she just doesn't come back.
Before this baby was admitted and taken to surgery, another group was brought in. These orphans were found stranded on a sidewalk near a nest that had been destroyed. Now at TWC, they're receiving the diligent care they need to survive.
If they're older babies, they might get started on like a once-a-day tubing, and the younger babies that come in, we start them on BID tubings. So that's a process of feeding a tube into the stomach and giving them formula. It can be very detrimental for a young rabbit to not eat or drink in, say, like the span of 24 hours. So we want to make sure that they are either self-feeding or we're providing them with that extra tube feeding as needed. The other thing that they have to have is if they're younger, they have to have heat pads, a nice warm nest to snuggle up in. We offer them greens to nibble on if they're old enough, rabbit pellets, and a nice supply of hay.
On top of all this work, just to ensure their bellies are full, rabbits are extremely sensitive.
Rabbits as a whole, adults and babies, are high-stress patients. They are very reactive to sound and touch and visual stimuli, and so we have to be very cautious of keeping them in dark, quiet spaces or spaces that they feel comfortable in. With their ears being so big, they can hear everything, so just making sure that we're trying to keep our voices down around them. And then especially for the babies, we have to keep everything very sterile with them. So any babies that are on tube feeding, we have to make sure that we're not introducing extra bacteria into their guts. It's traumatic to be young and trying to grow, and then also having to fight off infection and, those cases where you have to do surgery and you have to be more involved medically. It can be really tough with those little guys.
This was especially true for the veterinary team as they operated on the orphan with the broken toe, since they quickly knew that amputation was the only option.
It was so displaced, and there was no way we were going to fix that. Also, he doesn't need all of his toes, so he'll do fine without it. But there's always risks with anesthetizing and doing surgery on animals, so we have to be really careful when we do it. And this animal was also really young, so we have to be extra careful with that. But luckily everything went smoothly, and it was a good, easy procedure.
This baby is recovering well post-surgery, and he's joining many other orphans who are receiving the very best care.
Obviously, caring for orphans takes a lot of resources, whether it's time when they're really young and having to feed them around the clock, caring for them with space and houses, food. It can get overwhelming here during busy baby season. Thankfully, we're able to do it through the generous donations of the public, people caring about seeing these babies getting a second chance. We're really grateful for all of your help, and we would not be able to do it without you. Being a part of the process where you get to take these animals in, care for them, watch them grow, and be a part of that, we kind of get emotional about it because you've provided this care for these babies and they're now at a spot where they're independent and ready to go back out there. It's pretty exciting.
It's a busy time at TWC, and we want to save as many baby animals as possible. Please consider donating to get them the immediate care they need. Every gift, no matter how small, can save a young life. Visit our website to give now.